Yes, the Holy Grail in trading does exist, but it's not where everybody has been looking. And that's why everybody's had such a hard time finding it.
Before we get started, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. And if you're on YouTube, make sure that you go ahead and click the notification bell.
So what is a Holy Grail? I mean, most traders think the Holy Grail is that, magic strategy that's going to let you win, so predictably that you just, man, all you want to do is just keep pumping money into it because it's producing so nicely, right? That's the Holy Grail. But see, here's where everybody's off track. They're thinking that it's in the strategy, some magic strategy, some way to outsmart the markets. And that's not where it is. That's why everybody's been looking for decades and nobody's really found it yet. The Holy Grail is not the strategy. The Holy Grail is in being able to execute consistently. And when you have a method to do that that goes beyond just simple discipline, that's when you've got the Holy Grail, because that's when your results become predictable. You know what you're going to be making at the end of the month. And that's really what you're looking for, right? I mean, the whole point is consistent, predictable. I mean, everybody says consistent profits, but really you want consistent because consistent implies predictable. You know what you're going to get. It's not random, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. We don't want to be gambling where our profit or loss is left up to chance. So the Holy Grail really is when you have, again, it's not a strategy, but a means to be consistent with your trading and combining that with a strategy that works. Now, the cool thing about this is there are tons of strategies that work. And so, and this is why it's funny because, everybody's thinking, oh, I'll just find that magic strategy. And there's so many people, pimping strategies. Oh, this is the strategy that will get you those consistent profits. No, it's not in the strategy. It's not in the strategy. The strategy is simply a means of getting in and out of the markets. When you can execute consistently, that's when you've got the Holy Grail, because now you've got a process that's predictable. You know what to expect. Is it always going to come down to probabilities? Of course. You can't say on every given trade, I know this is going to be a winner. I know this is going to be a loser. But over, say, 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 or 1,000 trades, do I know what percentage of them are going to win? And I know what those winners are going to be worth and the losers, so that I know my profitability. The term expectancy, which I hate, might as well just call it the average return per trade. How much am I going to make with every trade I place? Because that's really all it is. I mean, if you rearrange if you do the math, expectancy really, it's funny. It's mathematically equal to if you take your net profits for the month divided by the total number of trades. That's expectancy. You don't have to do the fancy equation, the average winner times percentage, your winning percentage minus your average loser times losing percentage. You don't have to go through all that headache. You can just say, how much did I make at the end of the month? How many trades did I place? What's the average? You'll get the same number, which is hilarious. Anyway, but when you have that consistency, you have the methodology to approach your trading in a manner where you can get consistent execution. That's when you have the Holy Grail. And that's what, and really, I happen into it outside of trading. That's one of the cool things about it. I used to be a quality manager. And, after I blew up my account, I had to, take a whole different look at what I was doing with my trading. And I realized it's like, hey, over here, quality is all about consistency. So I started applying what I used in, that made me successful in my quality job, applied it to my trading, and it worked like a charm. And that's what I've been teaching everybody for the last 15 years. So if you'd like to find out more about it, swing by Inside Out Trading, and you can register for the Science of Consistency. That's a presentation where, I'll tell you about the science of consistency, how to get that consistency that you're looking for without having to rely on discipline. I mean, discipline, of course, you have to show up. You have to have a normal amount of discipline. But if your trading is requiring an abnormal amount of discipline, then you've got other things to fix. You shouldn't have to rely on discipline. You shouldn't have to rely on willpower. Your trading should not be an emotional challenge. I mean, when you're doing it right, it's easy and relaxed, and you just do what you're supposed to do. And so that's what I want to teach you. It's really cool. You'll like it. It works. It's been proven around the world over decades. So anyway, swing by Inside Out Trading. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.